Hey guys, Ashley here. A bit of a different view for you guys today. As you can tell, I am in our kitchen. Tonight I am going to be doing a feeding video of two of my Reborns, Pasha and Xavier, and then we're going to be reading a bedtime story. So I've already got the water in the bottles. If you hear any talking right now, my grandma is in the living room working crossword puzzles and kind of like talking to herself as she does them, like as she spells out the words, so that's just all that is. But anyway, I already put the water in, so we're just gonna get some of the formula, and I forgot to grab a spoon. I'm so well prepared, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead then. It's gonna be hard to do one-handed, so I'll probably have to cut it off in between here, but this is a new bottle I got right here, this kind of funny shaped one. I had one like that when I was a baby. So I found it at the dollar store and thought it was really cool. I think that should be enough formula. Oops. Let me just get it mixed well and good. That looks pretty good. Okay, and now a SpongeBob bottle. Bear with me a second. I'm gonna set you guys down just a second. I know, such an exciting view of the countertop. Okay, so let me... Oh, they've got that lid back on. It's pretty well mixed up, so we'll just put it a few seconds to warm it so it's not too cold. Oh, is that spatula too big for the microwave? That could be a problem. I guess I'll have to take the cap back off. I usually use a smaller bottle, so... Yep, I put the caps on for nothing. Great. Again, so well prepared, guys. Just put that on for a few seconds. Should be good because we don't want it too hot, just a little warm. Perfect. Yep, perfect. And I was supposed to put like the nipple on and test it on skin, but what I did worked too. My hands are clean, so it's all good. Just shake it a bit more. Sorry about these really awkward angles right now. I promise it'll be better when we get to the playroom, which is where Xavier and Pasha are waiting for us. Okay, so just get the two bottles. I'll close the formula up later. Okay, so here we are in our playroom. This is also like our media room, so you can let you guys see some of the movies we've got, because I don't really film in here very often. I've never really showed you guys this room, aside from like a couple of pictures on Instagram, so yeah. Little playroom. Here's the two babies waiting for us. I'm not going to be changing them into sleepers. I'm going to let them sleep in their onesies, and I'll just swaddle them in the blankets. Okay, so here we go, and I'm just going to have to do a quick cut here, and then I'll be right back with you guys with a better angle for me to be able to film this at, so I can, yeah. Alright guys, we're back. I finally found a place to set the camera, and I'm sure these two are thankful for that and want to eat. So let's go ahead then and let them have their bottles. I'm gonna try and like feed them like this so I don't have to do it one at a time. Okay, so that seems to be working quite well, and they seem to be enjoying their bottles. I would say enjoying their dinner, but it isn't quite dinner. This is like their after dinner bottle. You guys know how babies are. It's their bedtime bottle until they wake up in the middle of the night. I'm probably a bit out of frame, but that's okay. You guys can see them, and that is what matters. Or at least you guys can see Xavier. I guess Pasha's a little bit obscured. I'll try and readjust them a bit better before we read. Okay, it looks like Pasha's done. Xavier's hungry tonight, though. Alright, there we go. Okay, let's get you guys adjusted a bit better for the viewers. And let's go ahead and get them in their blankets. This is actually the blanket I got with Xavier. It didn't come with him, but like Elise got it for him. He was a Christmas present, and she got like a blanket and a few little things with him. So, but even though that's like the blanket he came with, I really want to wrap him in this new blanket. And also, guys, these onesies are so cute. Like the Spider-Man one, it says little web head, and I had to put him in that because I almost named him Miles after Miles Morales, Spider-Man. So that definitely had to be a thing when I saw it. And then his onesie came from the same pack, and it says, "Today I am a hero." I just got these today at Walmart. We don't go there very often, and to be honest, I don't really like shopping at Walmart, but I do like looking at their onesies because they always have such a nice selection, and they're not really that expensive. I just realized you guys can't really see me doing the swaddling, but that's okay. So, he's not wanting to be swaddled. Get your arm in there, little boy. There we go. There, we got 2 swaddled babies, and we have already picked out a book from the shelf behind me. You guys can't really see the shelf, but it's got a lot of books on it, and we're going to be reading. Where is it? I literally had it a moment ago. I should have left it out. Okay, what? Just a second. Just a second, guys. I know it's here. Here it is. Goodnight Wembly Fraggle. So this is what we're going to be reading. Goodnight Wembly Fraggle by H.B. Gilmore. Pictures by Barbara McClintock. I may have butchered that. I am very bad at saying names. Which is kind of funny because my last name, I'm not going to say what that is, but my last name is like really hard for people to say. It's Polish, so yeah. But anyway, let's go ahead now and start our story. Gobo, are you awake? Gobo opened one eye sleepily. There was an eye staring back at him. Gobo opened his other eye. There was another eye staring back at him, and a warm, furry nose was pressed against his own warm, furry nose. "Oh, good," said Wembly. "You're awake. I was afraid you would miss all the fun." There's Wembly waking up Gobo. "What fun?" Gobo yawned and looked around the cozy cave he shared with Wembly. "It's the middle of the night. Go back to sleep, Wembly." With a sigh, Wembly climbed up the ladder and got into his bed. There we can see Wembly going back to his bed. Wembly couldn't sleep. For 3 nights in a row, he had tossed and turned and worried about what everyone else in Fraggle Rock was doing. "I'll bet they're having a good time," he thought. "They just never wake up to tell me." He curled up on his right side, but the bed felt hot. He rolled onto his left side and found a lumpy spot. Lying on his tummy felt crummy, so he stretched out on his back. "Gobo, how can you sleep?" Wembly whispered from his bed. "Don't you ever worry about all the fun you're missing?" There's Wembly, tossing and turning, unable to get to sleep. When there was no answer, Wembly whispered a little louder. "Gobo, do you hear that click-tock, click-tock, click-tock noise?" "Doozer boots," mumbled Gobo. "I told you last night, Wembly, it's just the sound of doozer boots marching along the rocky ledges." "Oh, now I remember," said Wembly. He scrambled down the ladder and stood beside Gobo's bed. "Maybe the doozers are tired," he said. "Do you think they'd like a helping hand?" Gobo groaned. "I told you the night before last, Wembly. Doozers don't get tired, but Fraggles do." So doozers marching along doing their work. And Wembly keeping Gobo awake with his questions. "Oh," said Wembly with a sigh. Suddenly he smiled and snapped his fingers. "Then Boober must be tired," he said. "I'll go help him do the laundry right now." Gobo sat up. "Wembly," he began, but then he yawned. By the time he had finished yawning, Wembly was gone. Gobo rubbed his eyes with his fist. Then he stretched and sighed and scratched his head and fell over backward, right into his bed. There's Gobo, and there's Wembly rushing away to go find Boober. I think Boober's probably asleep. What about everyone else? Do you two think that Boober's probably asleep? Yeah? Alright, let's find out. "Are you going for a trip with your Uncle Traveling Matt?" Red asked when she and Mokey saw Gobo the next morning. Well, I guess we don't get to find out. "No," said Gobo, yawning. "Why do you ask?" Red giggled. "Because the bags under your eyes look like they're packed." "I wish I could pack my bags," Gobo said glumly. "I haven't gotten a full night's sleep since Wembly started staying awake all night." There he is with Red and Mokey. "Wembly? Then it really was him," Mokey exclaimed. "The night before last he woke us up to ask if we'd like to go for a midnight swim." "I thought I was dreaming," said Red. "You," grumbled Boober, joining them at the Fraggle Pond. "He banged on my door last night." So Boober was asleep, guys. Okay, Boober, what's wrong with your hat? Mokey asked. Boober's old brown cap had taken on an odd new shape. "My hat is fine, but my head's not." Boober lifted his cap to reveal a great big lump. "And it's all Wembly's fault," he said. "Wembly hit you on the head?" gasped Red. No, Boober explained. "When Wembly woke me, I hurried to answer the door in the dark and slipped on some spilled souffle." "Poor Boober," said Mokey. "Poor all of us," said Red. "We've got to keep Wembly from staying awake all night," Gobo decided. "And keeping everyone else awake, too," added Boober. You can see Boober there slipping on the souffle. You can see, look at the lump on his head in that picture, guys. I love the art in these books. "Perhaps he's afraid of the dark," Mokey suggested. Boober disagreed. "Poor nutrition," he said. "Too many moss burgers before bedtime. Or it could be a lack of vitamin F." "He doesn't get enough exercise," declared Red. "If he did, he'd be too tired to do anything but sleep." "It's because he can't make decisions," Gobo decided. "If Wembly just put his mind to it, he could sleep the whole night through." "We must try to help him," said Mokey. "Good idea," agreed Boober. "But let's do it later, after I've had a nap." There they all are, trying to decide how to help Wembly. It was nearly nighttime when the Fraggle friends arrived at Wembly's cave. "What a nice surprise," he said. "Now we can have a party. All we need are chips and dips and doozer sticks." "Just as I suspected," Boober shook his head. "No wonder you can't sleep, Wembly. Everyone knows that chips and dips and doozer sticks before bedtime can keep you awake for hours." Boober pulled a jar of purple-berry juice from his knapsack. "2 sips of this," he said, "and you'll be fast asleep in no time. Nothing to be afraid of, Wembly. Just watch me." Boober drank 2 great gulps of purple-berry juice. Then he yawned and stretched and sighed. and said, "See?" Wembly had to agree. Boober did look very sleepy. Whoa. "I've got an idea that's much more fun," said Red. "You run up and down the ladder to your bed, and you wiggle your nose every time you climb up, and you touch your toes every time you climb down. Here, watch me. I'll show you what I mean." Up the ladder Red scampered. At the top she wiggled her nose. Then she came down and touched her toes. Then up again and down, and then Red yawned and stretched and sighed and said, "You see, I'm already sleepy." There's Red going up and down. "I find nothing as soothing for sleep as a little night music," said Mokey. "So this afternoon at Inspiration Cave, I composed a lullaby especially for you, Wembly. When I sing it, you will relax completely. You'll close your weary eyes and rest, and you will think the words and music are fabulous." Mokey started to sing her brand new lullaby. It began, "Go to sleep, Wembly sweet, take a load off your feet." By the time she got to the part that went, "All your friends want to do is to get some sleep too," Mokey's eyes were closed. "You see," she whispered. Then she yawned and stretched. "There's nothing like a lullaby to put a Fraggle to sleep." Mokey singing her lullaby to Wembly. Wembly looked around. "Boober and Red and Mokey are nearly fast asleep," he whispered to Gobo. "They're going to miss all the fun." "What fun?" asked Gobo. "Why, all the fun that goes on in Fraggle Rock at night," Wembly explained. Is that why you've been staying awake all night?" Gobo asked. "Wembly, every Fraggle in Fraggle Rock goes to sleep at night." "Everyone?" asked Wembly. "Everyone but you," Gobo sighed. All their friends are sleeping, except for Gobo and Wembly. "I guess I can go to sleep then," Wembly said, "if I still remember how." "It's easy, Wembly," said Gobo. "All it really takes is a simple decision. You say to yourself, 'Self, it's bedtime. It's boring. There's nothing to do now. I think I'll go to sleep.' Then you close your eyes. Watch me. I'll show you how to do it." Gobo climbed into his bed and closed his eyes. He said to himself, "Self, it's bedtime. It's boring." The next thing Wembly knew, Gobo was snoring. There's Gobo, fast asleep. For 3 nights in a row, Wembly had wondered what he was missing when he slept. He had been sure all his friends were wide awake and having fun. Now he knew he wasn't missing anything. All his best friends went to sleep too. Except for Gobo's snoring and the click-tock of doozer boots marching along the rocky ledges, the night seemed very still and the cave seemed very cozy. Wembly took 2 sips of Boober's purpleberry juice. Then he climbed up and down his ladder, just as Red had shown him. Then he hummed a few lines of the lullaby Mokey had written especially for him. And finally, surrounded by his sleeping friends, he crawled happily into his bed and closed his eyes. There's Wembly doing all the things his friends taught him, and climbing into bed and going to sleep along with everyone else. "Self, it's bedtime," Wembly said, "and it really is boring being awake when your best friends are asleep. There's no fun to miss, there's nothing to do. So thanks and good night to Boober and Red and Mokey and Gobo and Wembly," he added. "Good night to you too." So Wembly sound asleep. The end. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed sharing this story with us. These 2 still aren't asleep, but I have a feeling that won't last very long. It's getting late, and I know they're getting tired. they'll probably want some more of their bottles before they go to bed. So thank you guys so much for joining us for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, I hope to see you guys next time. I'll be doing more videos like this in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye, guys!